All right. You guys can hear me, right? You can see my plaque, right? You guys can see it? You can hear me? Y'all here? Yeah. All right. Hey, Tex, Jim. Hey, everybody. Good to see you again. Thanks for being here. All right. I hope I offer you content that's useful and valuable. I am a short-term trader. Okay, I trade mainly. I'm a day trader, so I'm usually in and out. Um, within the day. So on that note, I don't have any favorite short or long trades. This webinar is. Oh, by the way, this is October 17th, 2024, and my name is John Kerrigan. I moderate the BYOB Trading Room. Okay, so I don't have any per se set. I use a strategy. Each one of my strategies fits a particular set of criteria that I'm looking for. Okay, most of my entries come from price action. Now, my favorite chart to trade is the SPY, and I like the SPY because you got options that are liquid, and there's plenty of them. So I tend to trade the SPY almost every day. That's pretty much all I trade. I rarely ever trade QQQ or Diamond Dow or IWM or anything else. Okay, my main chart to trade is the SPY. I kind of follow it religiously. Now, for me, I mean, I have a trading plan, and in my trading plan, I like to take bullish uptrends that are like over my pivot, and I create my own pivot based on the prior day's price action every day. Now, I like to take an uptrend. Now, if it's just moving sideways, I don't make any money when price doesn't move. I really need price to move in order for me to make money, especially because the options that I buy tend to decay quite rapidly. So it's imperative that price is moving. If price doesn't move, then I really can't get any much profits off of my options because they tend to decay faster than price goes up. And what happens is I have to usually either bail on them. Sometimes I take a hit. Sometimes I have to double down and kind of work my way out of a situation where prices decayed and I had to double down and then get out at cut the position back in half after I doubled down at a point where it's break even, because I only like to carry so much in my position. Now, as far as setups go, I mean, for me, it's all about the 10-minute chart for me, or the 15-minute chart, either one. Okay, and what I like to see is over my pivot. All right, you can see here's yesterday's trend right there. See that 10-minute uptrend? I don't know if you can see it. My thin yellow line up here is on top of the white line. The thin yellow line, that's the 3 EMA. And then I've got underneath it is the white line, that's the 8 EMA. And I like to see a trend where the yellow line, the 3 EMA, stays on top of the 8, the 8 EMA the whole time. Okay. Now in that, I'm looking for, when it gets up over the pivot, I'm looking for a situation where green erases red. So I don't count the wicks. So my first entry, you can see here's my pivot, is this neon green sign, this neon green line, not a sign, it's a line. Okay. And you can see where here's the wick right there. So right over the top of that body, okay, So it's probably either this candle or this candle. That would be my entry. All right. Now, when I enter on these, all right, there'll be an increase in the IV, implied volatility. All right. And what happens is I have to enter with like just a little bit of a position. All right. Let's say I want 20 calls for this, just for this trade here. All right. I usually come in with 5 or 8. And then as I watch the option drop back down, okay, so I might have got in it on the right here on, here's the trigger candle. I might get in at maybe like 185, okay, and as time passes and things kind of settle down, that option, even though price doesn't change much, okay, that option will kind of remove some of that implied volatility in it, and it will like kind of jump back to like 180, sometimes 175, and sometimes 170, and that's where I use those extra options or that I'm going to buy is to bring my cost average down, because right when price pops there, everybody else is looking at the same thing that I'm looking at, so I have to take some of it here. Now, if it does not drop back down and it takes off without me, and that happens sometimes, okay, that it just takes off without me, you know what? I don't look at that as a bad thing. Hey, I didn't get all my position in. But what I do look at is that it's taken off without me. Okay, so now I'll look for another trade somewhere else in the market for something else. Okay, that's great. Those options are working out for me. All right, that's the way I look at it. Or maybe as price goes up and see how it fans away from the 3 EMA right here on this candle. Well, I'll sell some into that, and then I'll buy, okay, as price drops back down, okay? I'll reload. So every time I get a candle that's far away from my 3 EMA, I try to like sell some off. I kind of got like I put a little line in. You can do it mentally, or you can just put one in like here. Okay, if price gets up into here, this is where I want to sell a couple options, and I already fan them out. I already how do I say it? I've got them already farmed out in the market, okay, for price to just run into them, okay, and I fan them out all the way up. So let's say I got them at 180. Let's say I got in at 185. And then I bought 5 more at 180, and then I bought 5 more at, well, say 175, and then I got 5 more at like 170. Okay, now price is up around 190. All right, so I've got some pretty good money in that. So what I do is I'll fan some out. I'll say, okay, I'm going to sell one at 191, one at 192, one at 193. 2 at 194, and I have them already pre-fanned out so that when price does pop like this, because when it pops like that, the option price tends to go way beyond the actual value that it really has, and it'll run into my orders up here, and then as price kind of pulls back down and settles down right here, I can reload my calls that I sold off up there. All right, so again, I need price to keep moving up. All right, so here's price moving up, and then you can see it consolidates over the pivot right here. Now Stefan's asking a question: how do I calculate the pivot? Okay, so what I look for is I take a 5-minute chart or a 10-minute chart, and I'm just going to pick up a different one right here, just a different chart. Okay, so let me just trash this out. All right, and Stefan wants to know, how do I calculate my pivot? Okay, so today's pivot was calculated on yesterday's price action. So we're gonna go hit a cleaner chart, okay? And I look for the common ground area where price ran up to several times and then price pulled back to couple times, several times, all right? That would be where my pivot is. So I can see price kind of moves up to this and then stops and turns around. So I'm looking around here, all right? Now I can see price comes up to it again, and you see those two red candles there, Stefan, where price pulls back, right about there. Okay, now price pulls up to this, see the red candle? It kind of halts price there. And then they just kind of power through it, you know? They slow the car down like they're going through the school zone. And now they can navigate over those speed bumps right there. And now they get up through it and they come back and they test it right here. Okay, this is how I do this. I do this every day, okay? So you can see right there, price makes a little mini valley, all right? By a valley, that means price went up, and then it comes back and makes a little mini valley right there, right on that line. Okay, so my line would be like right here. Okay, so let's say my line's right here, and you can see where price shoots through, comes back, and it just tests you got a little mini valley right there. All right, and that's how I determine. Plus, I look at yesterday. See, we got a little mini valley right through here. All right, you can see the price action on over here. See how price is coming down, and then it gets halted right there. Then you get a little mini valley, and then they power through it. All right, with a big candle at the end. Right, you can see right there, kind of right into the rising 200 SMA on the 10-minute chart, and you can see price action flips around from right there. So I do this every day. This is what I do. In the morning, I set this up. I actually create a little, how do I say it? A little game plan that I set up for traders in the room. Let me see if I can pull that up so you can see it, so you know where everything is before I even open up in the morning. It's handed to everybody in the room. So here's the 17th. Okay, so you can see this. See, I tell you, my SPY pivot this morning, 580.91. Above it, I'm a bull. Below it, I'm a bear. Okay, and I tell you when I do the morning video. I don't know if you ever watch my morning videos. Okay, but I tell you, okay, I'm looking for an uptrend over the pivot, 10-minute uptrend. I'm looking for green erases red, all right? Or I'm looking for a 10-minute downtrend underneath the pivot, all right? And I'm looking for red erases green, okay? I need price to move, all right? Sometimes price doesn't want to move. Sometimes price just wants to go through that consolidation where it goes up and then it comes back and then it does this and then it does that and then it goes back up here again. Then we make a little half back right there and then it rips to the upside, okay? So I'm looking for my consolidation pattern to work out, and I'm also looking for, the price action of what I see as a possibility where price can move. Yeah, exactly. Thanks, Tex. Yeah, you got to watch the videos, Stefan. I post them. They're in the alerts, Stefan, and not only are they in the alerts, they're on my Facebook as well. I don't know if you're part of my Facebook, but it's free to join. Okay, and I'd love it if all of y'all join my Facebook. I think it's like top notch. I really do. Well, and because it's mine, it's like my kids, I think they're the best, Same with my dog. I think my dog's the best, okay? Well, same with my Facebook. Trying trying to find it here, see if I can get it. Here we go. All right. So here's my room. If you want to know if you're in the right spot, this is what it looks like right there. All right. I guess the internet just flaked out on me. I don't know if you guys can still hear me and see me. So let me know if you can still hear me and see me. All right. Can you guys still hear me and see me? Can you guys still hear me and see me? Yeah, I'm going to... Oh, you can hear me and see me. Awesome. Okay. All right. Because my internet just, flaked out on me. We just went through a hurricane here, so they're kind of putting stuff back together. All right. Yeah, I'm back. Yes. So they're kind of still putting stuff back together here. We didn't have much damage. We lost a few screens and a snap together shed. Other than that, it was a pretty good. The outcome was really good compared to other people that lost a whole lot more. So, anyways, if it does that again, it's not me. I don't want to leave you. It's just that's what's going on here in Cape Coral and all along the Gulf Coast. They're constantly reconnecting power and stuff like that. We had almost 120 tornadoes. Okay, I get off topic, but anyway, here's my room. All right, and I'm gonna take that. All right, and if you go down, look, there's a live trading alerts. There's my success for the day, and there's my videos every morning right here. Okay, and another trading idea. All right, so a lot of good stuff on there. All right, and I'm gonna post this in the chat so you guys have again. I'd love it if you all would be a member. Again, it's free. I think it's the best, but I'm sure there's others out there, but I like it a lot, and I'm constantly trying to make it better all the time. All right, so anyways, that's that, and then of course I got my YouTube. And you can get to my YouTube right from the Facebook. All right, so let me cross that out. All right, go back to the room. All right, back in here again. Okay, so I like green erases red for my uptrends. Now you can see here's price action. All right, it's moving up and it's holding the higher ground. Okay, that's a characteristic that I like. Okay, I look for that. Okay, price action moves up, and then it holds the higher ground. I'm going to get this one. I'm going to make it a little thicker. Okay, so it moves up, and then we see how we hold right through there. That's very bullish. Right there, when we hold like that, especially when we hold like that at the high of the day and near the end of the day. Okay, so I look at that. Now you look at the 10-minute trends kind of wonky like that. All right, now sometimes when it gets wonky like that, I have to move it. I flip out to a 15-minute chart. Okay, so I want to see that space. You definitely got an uptrend. All right, now if you use the 10-minute, kind of crosses right there. How do I know if SPY completely closes gap? Well, here's the line on my TC2000 right there. All right. So, and then you look where this candle closes right there. So you put your crosshairs up and you see the top one where it says 582.27. Okay. That's the close of that candle, 582.27. You see that up in the left corner? Oh, I don't know what they're gonna do. I'm just playing the probability based on the price action that's that's being presented to me, okay? Uptrend, okay? And then we hold the higher ground, okay? For me, that's bullish, all right? Now, okay, now today we ripped up here and then we sold off, okay? We came back to, you can see there's almost a gap fill. But notice, all right, the bears have a little bit of an edge, all right? Why? Because they failed to fill the gap. See, the low there is 582.37, okay? And this candle closed 582.27. Okay, so that's another clue that I look for in the morning. Okay, so when you got that wonky 10-minute, sometimes you got to go to a 15. All right, now you can see that clearly the yellow line's over the white line, and it stays over it even through this pullback. And then again, we move up. All right, we pull back to this base right here. And I would expect price action to probably pull back to this base and maybe even head twice as high by tomorrow sometime. We'll see what happens. Okay, that's another one of my trades is like the birthday trade. Okay, you see price action moves up, comes back to the base. Now you can see here it comes back, slams back down to the base holds, and price goes back up. Again, I look at the price action. All right, it moves up. First, let's just say we went up, and then we gave it up. Okay. All right, but we didn't go lower, so that's neutral. Now we're going up, and we're holding the higher ground. That's bullish. Okay, so after this, going up, holding, what's next is another move up. All right, if the bears are bullish. Now, in order to see if the bears are, if the bulls are in charge, you see what happened here. The bears didn't have enough spinach. They didn't have enough mustard on whatever they were working with, okay, to really fill the gap. All right, so that's bullish right there. All right, so I would only bail on this, all right, if price action got below that tail right there. And they may spike it and then recover it. We'll see what happens. But here we are coming into 130, looking for another breakout to the upside here as price moves up and holds the higher ground. No guarantees, all right? This is the market. This is like rolling the dice a lot of times. But I'm looking for clues, okay? Here's the clues. I got an uptrend. Okay, and we hold the higher ground and the day at the high of the day. Okay, that near the high of the day. That's a clue. So I'm looking for green erases red. Now on my first candle, all right, price was way up here. All right, way up there. Okay, all right. Now I could take that candle, but it's got to be on the 10-minute chart. All right, it's going to have to be green, all right? And it can't be, okay? And it can't be a doji, and it can't be a topping tail. Topping wick, can't be a doji, can't be a red candle. So because I'm on the 15, all right? See how 15 kind of cleans stuff up a little bit? Here's these 3 are red. These 5 are red. Here's a green doji. That doesn't work. Here's the first candle right there. I can take that candle right there. Okay? In my 15-minute uptrend. See that? All right? And that would be green erases red. Where would the red that it erased? Would be all of this consolidation right through here. Okay? I just have to wait for my candle. This one won't work. That one won't work. That's a doji, won't work. 2 red candles, those won't work. It got to be green, okay? And this is what happens. You got to have the patience to wait for your setup, okay? Still got the 10-minute trend. Here's the green candle, all right? Now I got a bottoming tail candle. See that? I like that when there's more tail than there is wick and body. Okay, that shows me bulls are in charge. That's what I wanted to see. Bulls buy it up. Okay, so I can buy that candle and trade it up to there. Okay, see that? And then we're in this base right here. Okay, wait for this to consolidate, give it time to break out. Probably come about maybe before 2:30, maybe around 2:30. We'll look for that. So this is what I trade every day. I trade the SPY. Now I choose my options. All right, I like to choose out 7 days. Okay, I've been having much more success because I'm able to take more options because they have more time. All right, because I'm able to fix it or I'm able to tweak it a whole lot easier. Okay, the problem is it's not as much, how do I say it, open interest in the longer options. All right, in the short-term options, all right, that expired today and tomorrow. Well, tomorrow's Friday. Let's say they expired on Wednesday and Thursday. Okay, and you're working on Wednesday. Okay, you're going to have more open interest on Thursday and Friday in the short-term options that are right around the number you're working at. Okay, now on Fridays tend to have a lot of open interest, so I tend to pick my options that expire on a Friday. All right. You're worried that they will fill the gap. There's, Mel, you're gonna have to trust the price action. All right, and if they dupe you, and they dupe me too. All right, don't think you're the only one. All right, you have to study it, and you have to say, hey, this is bullish. We gapped up. They're coming back. They might fill gap. And it's a possibility that they fill gap. All right. But sometimes you just have to wait and see if they can fill gap. A lot of trading is trying not to anticipate, but actually watching and seeing what actually happens. Okay. So you look at it. They're coming back. They're coming back. They're coming back. Okay. They didn't fill gap. They failed. All right. Then you get a tail coming right off of there with a big tail candle. All right. You've got bullish price action here. You had bullish price action up here because you gapped way up. All right. And now you've got this bullish candle that is right here. Okay. So now you can see price action is moving up. And you got to also look at your trend. See, your 15-minute trend is holding here. Okay. As long as your trend is holding, try to stick with it, okay? Or you can just wait for better. You can just also, you don't have to trade every single day. You can wait for better setup, all right? Wait for the setup that fits your parameters that you're not going to, how do I say it? It's not going to spook you as much. You go, oh, I know what to do here. Green erases red. I'm going to take this. We're in a 10-minute uptrend. It's not even 2:30 yet. Price action's really rolling. The market just opened up. Big igniting bar. I'm going to buy it, okay? You know that game plan, right? Hey, it's coming in tomorrow. Tomorrow, open house. Tomorrow I got open house, 8 in the morning, okay? I get up early, all right? I make my presentation early as well, okay? And but then after that, I'm pretty much done by about 8:30. So if you want to go listen to Rick and Doug, all right, there's time there to go do that. And then I come back on at 9:15. All right. Now I might have some new people, maybe some strangers. Hopefully, I get some strangers that I can talk to. All right. So I'll probably be talking all morning because it's an open house. All right, answering questions and such. All right, because hopefully we get some new blood in here. All right, so we'll see what happens. But anyways, I come in at 8 in the morning and I start my day and I start talking and I do the morning presentation and I record it, and then you get a copy of it up there in the alerts, and then it's posted on YouTube, so you can find it there. You can find it on Facebook, and you can find it in the room in the alerts right there. Okay. Yep. Tomorrow at 8 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to be here. And you're welcome to hang out with me and see what I'm trading. I'll probably be trading the SPY. No secret there, okay? More than likely, that's what I'm going to be trading. GB, hey, nice to see you. Nice to see you, Tax and Roasted. John, have you ever tried trading the QQQ? Yes, I have. You notice the difference between SPY and QQQ? Yes. QQQ is heavily dependent on, they're both heavily dependent on FNGU, okay? Right here. Both of them are heavily dependent on FNGU. All right, but the difference between QQQ is 100 stocks, roughly about 100. Okay, it's the NASDAQ 100. All right, and 10 of the 100, so 10%, are like really heavily weighted on the FNGU. So when I do trade QQQ, and I do trade it not often, all right, I'm mainly looking at this. Wherever usually FNGU will track the same way as QQQ. All right, so if you looked at that, all right, we'll just take a mental image of that, see how it gapped up, came back down to the 200 SMA, and then it head back up to test that high. Okay, so you got a mental image of that. So then we'll go back over here and put open FNGU. All right, we're on the 15. You can see it. See this? See the pattern there? Okay, so we'll just like snap a little photo real quick. All right, try it again. Here we go. All right, so that's today's price action. All right, now we're going to change it to QQQ. All right, now you can see this is QQQ price action. Okay, and this is FNGU price action. Aren't they almost identical? Okay, remember this was FNGU. See that? First candle, big red one. Second one, green. Third one, red. Notice how they just mimic and run the same pattern. Okay? The only difference is instead of watching 100 stocks combined on the QQQ, you're watching the leash, all right? This FNGU. This is like the leash that jerks the dog. Okay? This is only 10 stocks, okay? And it's actually some of the most heavily weighted stocks in the QQQ and SPY. All right, so if you looked at weighted stocks for FANG, that would be the FNGU. You're going to come down here. All right, you're going to see right here. Here they are: NVIDIA, CrowdStrike, Meta, Broadcom, Apple, ServiceNow. I'm not sure if that's Snowflake or not. Alphabet, Netflix, Amazon, and Microsoft. Okay, these have been the big boys for a long time now. All right, so and these are. Notice they're all about 10% of each one in this fund, all right, or this ETN. It's only got 10. That's all it's got. But it's got 10 of the most heavily weighted stocks in the SPY and the QQQ. So I take this and I take a look at weighted stocks for QQQ. Here's the NASDAQ 100. It's coming up. It's a little slow. It's coming. Bear with me, all right? So NASDAQ 100 companies. Same ones. Notice, same ones: Apple, NVIDIA, Microsoft, Broadcom, Meta, Tesla, Costco, Google, Alphabet, two of them, and then Netflix. See that? It's almost the same 10, all right? And notice these make up almost 35-40% of the NASDAQ. So they tend to jerk the NASDAQ wherever they're going to jerk it with it, all right? So wherever the FNGU goes, it's going to go with it. Now, SPY's a little bit different, okay? So SPY, let me get that back up there, okay? SPY's different. SPY's got 500 stocks, okay? All right, so what we like to watch is, like Doug said earlier, he likes to watch T2122. Well, I like to watch T2123, okay? So here's the weighted stocks for S&P 500, okay? That's the SPY, okay? Notice it's the same ones. It's the same ones all over again. Apple, NVIDIA, Microsoft, Amazon, Meta, Google, again, Berkshire, Broadcom, more Google, Eli Lilly, Morgan, Tesla. You can see it's the same ones. Some of the biggest heavyweights are in the FNGU. So typically you watch those 10 stocks, wherever that ETN goes, it's pretty much where the SPY and the QQQ are going to go. Most of the time. QQQ will follow it more directly. SPY's a little bit different, okay? Because SPY, all right, includes another 480, has 400 other companies that the QQQ doesn't have. Okay, so I tend to watch this one right here, T2123. Okay, see this is T2123. See that? New all-time high for T2123. Actually made a new all-time high today, yesterday, day before that, 2 days before that day, and it's just been making all new all-time highs. These are the prior all-time highs. You can see this green one here was made in, this one was made in July 31st. Okay, not too long ago. This one was made in September, right there. See that? 9-4. All right, so this one was made almost first day of August. 30 days later, what you got? Another brand new all-time high. Has a little pullback, all right? Little flake out pullback, and then what happens? Green erases red. See the red? See, here's the pullback. That's the red. You see the green erase the red. So all of this red that the bears produced, well, here come the bulls. They erase everything that the bears did, and they push it past, or push it back even further up, higher, higher, higher. Okay? Does that make sense, GB? So yes, there is a difference because the SPY has 400 other companies. 400 more companies than QQQ. All right? Do you see the difference there? NASDAQ. Okay, see the difference? Okay, S&P 500, got 500 companies. All right? NASDAQ 100. QQQ only has 100. You with me? You can hear me, right? You don't have a mic. Okay, awesome. All right, so there you go, right there. So that's what I tend to watch. So yeah, there is a difference. All right, now if you look at the charts, all right, let's look at the charts for both of them, okay? So let's just go to daily charts, and we'll click this one right here, and then we're going to click QQQ, okay? And this is a daily chart right there. Okay, notice SPY is making new all-time highs. Okay, they're similar, but they're different in that QQQ has not made a new all-time high since July. See that? There's the July all-time high right there. Okay. Now SPY is making new all-time highs because it's got the other 400 stocks that help drag it up. Okay, and they can also hold it back and drag it down. This one will tend to run faster, all right? And even on the futures market, it will tend to run faster. All right, so there's QQQ. Now, here's a mental image of that. We'll take a picture of that. All right, so you can see what's going on there. There's QQQ, all right? And then we're going to put in SPY. And let's take a cleaner chart right here, okay? So notice right here, see how this has a lower, a higher high there. See there's it's a lower high than right here, okay. And then we still haven't made a new all-time high here on this hump, and we still haven't made a new all-time high here on that hump, okay. Whereas you can see SPY, okay. Here's the same pattern. Comes back up and challenges this all-time high. See how it bounced higher? All right. Here's your bounce here. Didn't get nearly as high as the all-time high on the QQQ. Whereas you see on SPY right there. Now notice the pullback, very shallow for SPY, a little bit deeper for QQQ. See that? A little bit deeper there. Coming back up, makes a higher high. Okay, now you got an uptrend. You got a higher low and a higher high. See how it takes out that high? That's a higher high. So now you got that uptrend. So you can see QQQ SPY makes a higher high, actually makes a new all-time high. See that? Comes up through that high right there and makes a new all-time high. A little fade right here, and then making new all-time highs. Okay, so today, believe it or not, was another new all-time high. Now, what helped provide that? Well, that came from T2123 right here, making new all-time highs right there on T2123. Okay? All right, whereas QQQ only has 100 stocks, so it doesn't get the added benefit when the T2123 is doing well. Okay, so you look at T2122, I think you saw it with Doug. All right, see how we were in the overbought zone yesterday. Now we're hanging out in the buy zone, knocking on the door of the chop zone. Okay, I label mine a little bit different. That's me. Everybody's got their own way of doing it, and this is mine. Okay, I use it overbought, buy, buyer's chop zone, seller's chop zone. I slice off the midpoint right there, measure it out. Oversold zone and sell zone right there. Okay, you can take a picture, or I can take one for you and drop it in there. Either one, so you can see my markers and you can set it up a little bit differently. Now I look at mine on a 15-minute chart. Okay, what I like to see in the day is price action making higher lows and higher highs. Okay, or hanging out up here in the top quarter. All right, whenever I see price up in the upper quadrant, that's bullish. In the upper third, bullish. Okay, over the midpoint, bullish. More bullish in the upper third, even more bullish in the upper quadrant. Okay, and even more bullish in the overbought zone. Okay, that's like the upper 10%. Okay, so that's the way I look at my chart. We all use it differently, and it works for him, and mine works for me. So I like to do this almost daily, kind of take a look at what's going on. So I know I'm bullish. Why? Because T2123, I mean, look at that. Just project it up. And look at the price action. Just watch the price action. What do we like to see? Well, here's a bullish gap right here that never got filled by the bears. Bulls are in charge. Another bullish gap, all right, didn't get filled by the bears. Bulls are in charge. Okay? This is the type of stuff that I look for, is the price action to decide how I'm going to trade the day, okay? You can see price moves up and holds the higher ground, right? Price moves up and holds the higher ground. Price moves up, holds the higher ground up here. See this? This is exactly the type of price action you want to find. Moves up, holds the higher ground. Moves up, holds the higher ground. This is the beauty. Now, what do you got? You almost got a string of stairs there. You see that? That's what we're looking for. Okay? The only bad part is you go up like this and you don't put in any daily. You need 2 or 3 days, like 5 days of consolidation. Make a nice landing, okay, for price to fall back on. When you don't have that landing, price tends to do this, okay? Tends to go up and then it gives it up like that. Okay? I like it better when it goes up and then it consolidates for a week and a half, okay? I know that's boring, but guess what? It gives me the confidence to buy as price comes up over that, because I know this is going to catch price because it's minor support. Now, what I like to see most of the time, okay, is price. Let's just say that this would be resistance. I like to see price move up through, pull back to minor support, okay, pull back to minor support, and then bounce higher, okay? For me, that's ideal. All right, see, now this one didn't even hit any minor support at all. See that pullback? There was no support here at all. All right, so that's my favorite, when price pulls back to minor support and then moves higher. You want to see another one? Let's take a look at, you know who's on fire today? I think Amazon's on fire. Let's go take a look at Amazon, see what's going on there, okay? See if it pulled back to minor support, okay? All right, on the daily chart, okay, so now it's still trying to break out, okay? Now notice here's some consolidation right here, all right? Right through there, some consolidation. And if I drag this over, there's your pullback to minor support. Okay, so now what am I looking for? I'm looking for price to rip, makes a higher low, to rip up to new highs, challenge that all-time high right here. All right, that's what I'm looking for. So price action up at 188.65, looking good today. All right. Retail sector also entered new all-time highs today. Okay, XRT. All right, I'm going to wrap this up. Okay, let's look at the XRT. This is a bigger picture of the XRT. For those of you that don't watch my videos, okay, see the bigger picture? It's a move up, and we hold the higher ground. See that? What comes after that? Another move up. Okay, that's what we're looking for. And you got our consolidation pattern going on. This is the retail sector, and you can bet that Amazon's in that retail sector. So now what we got, we had a downtrend right here because we failed to make a higher high. So all through this, see this? See how we went up and then we gave it up? That's neutral. All right, but here's something different happened here. Okay, we went up, and then look, we kind of held the higher ground. Okay, see the higher low? Going to be pressure on the bulls to produce the higher high. And guess what they did? All right, mission complete. Right there, they made a higher high than this high and this high. So mission complete there on making the higher high. See that right up over that? Okay, now we got to get up over, we got to break out of all of this, right out over all of these wicks, right through there. Looking for the next breakout to happen. How much weight do I put on the T2123? Most of my weight goes on the FNGU. All right, so it's more like 80-20, 20% on the T2123. All right, but when you got them both working at the same time, okay, when you got your FNGU, I got to wrap this up because Rick's coming on soon. All right, when you got your FNGU, remember we're watching the 10-minute chart, see the green, 17 EMA, you can use dots, call it the trend indicator, whatever you want. See the price action for today, okay? See that's what it's doing, see this? This is moving up, holding the higher ground. That's bullish, right? This is all about knowing what's bullish and what's not. See the gap? Gap never got filled. Who's in charge? Bulls. All right. And then to help confirm that, price is up over what? VWAP. Okay, that's bullish. All right. Gap never got filled by the bears. That's bullish. Okay. Back up here, testing the high of day. All right, at the beginning of the day, that's bullish. Okay. All of these are clues that I look for. Consolidation. Notice they didn't go up and give it up, okay? Instead, they went up and they're holding the higher ground, even more powerful because they're over the anchored VWAP, all right? Now, if you take FNGU, let's back out to a daily chart, okay? Here's our all-time high anchored VWAP. That is the all-time high right there in July for the FNGU, okay? Now this is, when you see this, this is the anchored VWAP, okay? So this is the average price that shares sold for. It's a moving average, all right, from this point to this point here, okay? Now whenever I see price over the pink line, the all-time high anchored VWAP, and I have an uptrend, it is my belief that money is being injected into the FNGU or into the markets. Okay? If you have an uptrend. If you have a downtrend, not so much. It's got to be an uptrend over the all-time high anchored VWAP. Okay? All right? So again, I don't have a favorite short or a favorite long. What I have is I like to find trend. I need to see price moving. All right? And when I look for it, I'm looking at the daily chart. Okay? And then I look at my 2-hour chart. Okay? Do I have a 2-hour uptrend? Do I have a daily uptrend? Now I want to find the 10-minute uptrend inside that. See, when I get the bigger time frame working on my side, it's like having wind in your sails. Okay? It's like having high octane in your car. Okay? You've got the right stuff. Now all you got to do is line everything up, point it in the right direction, and you can have a success. All right? Hey, thanks, B12. Thanks, Tax GB. Hey, GB, you're welcome to come to the room tomorrow if you got time. All right? I start at 8. Market opens at 9:30. You know that. All right? And you can ask me a whole lot more questions if you got them. Same with you, Mel. Roasted, everybody. Okay? I'm here tomorrow. All right, I'm going to hang it up right now, and I'm going to release you guys over to Rick. All right? Thanks for hanging out with me. Appreciate that.